Hi, welcome everybody. So I want to talk a little bit about fire in the heart today, which is a Chinese TCM medical terminology. And it's one of these things that we get. It's a common thing that happens today in today's age, and it's a common occurrence. Yeah. So when we think of your heart, you think of the that you want to have a warm heart for a start. You don't have a cold heart, and so a warm heart's a good thing. But we get a thing called heat in the heart, which is different to having a warm heart. And then if you get from a warm heart, from heat in the heart, you can get to fire in the heart, which is what we're going to talk about a little bit about today, which is another extreme of getting it, so your heart. So how that affects your heart, if you get too much warmth or too much heat in your heart, and say heat in your heart, the first stage where you'll get it, one of the symptoms you'll get, if you've got too much heat in your heart, you'll get really vivid dreams. You'll find that you'll go to bed and you wake up and go, whoa, that was a pretty weird dream, because the fire disturbs your dream pattern, and so you have that. Or the heat disturbs it. If you get fire in your heart, which is what you'll get quite often when you have a fever. If you have a fever, when you go to bed with a fever and you're sweating like crazy, you have these really weird ass dreams. But you get like nightmares dreams when you got a fever, and you get night terrors, which are even another level of where you get all these really, really dark dreams, and it comes from a fever, and that's called about fire in your heart. Yep. But the heat in the heart will just give you the vivid dreams. So you'll get that, and there can be a few different causes for this, and we'll talk a little bit about it. You can get it from shock. Your body can be shocked and create heat in your heart. You can get from a disturbance in yourself from something that's happened. It can be an emotional disturbance. It can be a psychological disturbance. It can be a disturbance where you've been felt fearful, and that'll create this anxiety or this anxiety in the body, and that anxiety and fear will create heat in your heart. And then you're going to have the weird dreams, and then you might not sleep. You'll get insomnia or have trouble because the heat will keep your heart awake. It's like our soul lives in our heart. And at night time in Chinese medicine, your mind, which is like your desktop and your computer, shuts down and it goes back to the hard drive. It's like your heart. So your mind that collects all the information from all your senses shuts off back to the heart. But the problem is if you've got heat in your heart, it keeps your computer on and you can't turn it off. And so even sometimes you can go to sleep, but your mind's really, really busy. Yep, and you'll know this, and you wake up tired in the morning. That's a classic sign of heat in your heart, more heat than you want. Yep. So I'm going to give you an exercise to do to help with the heat in your heart. Yep. And help to get rid of it. Now, we know when you're an animal, and especially a dog, a good example is they pant when they're hot. We as human beings, we perspire or respire, the pores open up and the moisture comes out, the heat comes out through the pores, and sometimes you get really hot, so the fluid comes out as well. But in dog, because they have that lot of hair, they breathe a lot of the heat out through their mouth, and they go, and they breathe the heat out through their breath. So we're going to do the same principle. We're going to breathe the energy of the heat out from your heart through your breath out. And we're going to use the lungs qi to gather the heat from the heart and breathe for the lungs qi out of the body to get it out, to dissipate that heat in your heart. Yep. I'm going to use an exercise from the Untitled Qigong series, and it's called Wagging the Tail. And it's an interesting exercise. There's lots of pieces to it. We'll do the basic model. If you want to learn more how to do more of these exercises, come and do a course with me and I'll show you what it looks like in its purest form. But we'll just do the beginning model of this. So step out with your left foot. Yep. And you bend your knees out towards your toes. Yep. And you turn your hands around, so not the hands this one, your knees, you turn them around so the thumb's facing backwards. Yep, that way. And you stay standing up this way, nice and straight. Yep. And then I'm going to go down the right side. I'll mirror you. We'll go down the right side first. And as you go down, you bend forward. And as you bend forward, you poke your bum out. So you poke your bum out, which just brings you down. And you're looking out across that leg, and you have a straight back, and you've got your head up, so you're looking straight forward. You're going to come across the front. Yep. Get to the other side. And then you're going to bring your bum back in again. And then come back to the front. Yep. When you get to here, tuck your bum underneath, tuck your pelvis forward. Yep, and we're going to go down the same side. We're going to push your bottom out, push your bum out, and then wag your tail across the back so your bum turns from one side to the other as you go across. Yep, and gets the other side, and then comes up. Yep, and then back to the position, back to the north, and then tuck your bum underneath again. Good. Now the breathing, we breathe out on the way down, and we breathe in when we come up, yeah, and breathe out through the mouth. Think of the heat in your heart, breathe it out. Breathe in as you stand up. Tuck your bum underneath. Breathe out on the way down. Breathe in. Do one more time, eh? Breathe it down the way down. Breathe in. Take your bum and you breathe out on the way back down. Breathe in. Good. And straighten your legs and bring your left leg back in again. Yeah, very cool. So that's an exercise. It's a similar exercise. We don't do it 3 times because it is quite hard on your legs if you're not used to that posture in your legs. And you shake your legs out and just take away any tension. But the mind, the focus, your intention is the feel, the idea of the heat in your heart, and you breathe it out with the breath. And you breathe out and you're looking forward and you're breathing it out and letting it go outside of the body. And it's a great exercise for doing that. It's one of the, it does a few other things, that particular exercise does a few other things as well, but it's famous for that. So enjoy that, and I always feel great after that. You feel light, your heart feels more expanded, you feel a lot more happier for some reason. Well, we know the reason why it is, because I've just taken the heat off the heart. Not that I had any, but if I did have some, it's good. So somebody needs to do this exercise, otherwise I wouldn't have come up to me. So if somebody's watching it today, this is going to be useful to you. Yeah, and you can do it before you go to bed. So you take away any anxiety, any worry, and just breathe it out. Give it all back out again, then breathe in again. Breathe it out. Breathe in. And just let it all go out of your body. If you've had a fight with your partner or your mother or your brother or your sister, or who, doesn't matter what it is, and just breathe that energy out. Breathe it out of your body. You don't want it inside your body, breathe it out. Yeah, and let's get rid of it, get it off your heart. Very cool. Have a beautiful day. It's Thursday day. Have a great weekend for everybody. I just bow to you before we leave, eh? Go back inside. Go. Make a fist with your left hand, cover with your right. Bring it towards your heart. And bring it down to your physical center. Bring the energy down to your physical center. Very cool. And step back. And bow to everybody in the world today. Everybody that needs some energy in the world, give them some energy today. Give them a bit of joy. Get the fire off your heart. And have a beautiful day. Eh? Bye-bye. If you have any questions about it, just message me and ask me if you want to know more about it. Bye-bye.